Arkham City, a game that some people consider the best superhero video game of all time. Well, is it actually? Yes, absolutely. Okay, hold on. Let's restart. Arkham City is one of the most critically acclaimed superhero video games of all time. When people think of the best superhero video games, they think of this or Spider-Man PS4 or maybe Injustice. But either way, this game is incredible. As I continue my series of reviewing every Arkham game, we are now reviewing Arkham City. The Arkham Asylum video was only like 8 minutes long, and I can assure you, this one will be much more longer because there's much more to talk about. This game has a much juicier story instead of just walking around and doing missions the whole time. Now, let's begin. Of course, as always, I will start with my basic thoughts on this game, and wow, it's incredible. On almost every level. Arkham Asylum was a huge success, and this is a rare time where the sequel was way better than the original. It was like Rocksteady was like, okay, people loved Asylum, now let's top it. And that is exactly what they did. This game expanded on the incredible combat system and much more. The voice acting is even better since they added voice acting legends such as Tara Strong and Troy Baker. This game also looks beautiful as you are soaring through this crime-filled city. Also, there's a lot more to do, including more challenge maps, a lot of side missions, some incredible DLCs like Harley's Revenge, and the story. The thing that everyone loves about this game. Now, obviously, there are some negatives, as there is for every video game in existence. No game is perfect. But we'll talk about that when we get to it. Now, let's begin with the positives. This game is truly incredible. The story is very interesting because, in a way, it's like a wild goose chase. Let's do like a basic summary of the whole story. The game begins with Bruce Wayne getting captured at a protest against the new Arkham City. He's protesting against Arkham City, which is basically a city where they hold all the criminals of Gotham in it. Hugo Strange knows Bruce's identity and goes on about something known as Protocol 10. Bruce escapes because, come on now, he's Batman. He then rescues Catwoman from Two-Face, but almost gets shot, and we find out that it's the Joker who tried to shoot him, and we give him a visit, and he looks terrible. He's dying because of all the Titan shenanigans that happened in Arkham Asylum. He puts some of his blood inside Bruce, so he needs to make a cure before they both die. Batman goes to Mr. Freeze because he can make a cure. He has to defeat the Penguin and then start working with Mr. Freeze to make a cure. He needs to go to the League of Assassins to get some stuff for the cure. Batman has to do some weird tests and has to defeat Ra's al Ghul to then take the potion and make himself feel better. After an incredible boss fight with Mr. Freeze, Joker steals the cure, so Batman goes to get it. But Joker captures Talia al Ghul and Protocol 10 begins. After Batman goes to defeat Hugo Strange, he finds out Ra's al Ghul, or Ra's al Ghul, however you pronounce it, I don't care, was actually behind the whole plan. After Ra's dies, Batman then goes to the Joker. There is a great Clayface twist, and then after stopping Clayface, Joker shoots and kills Talia. And then Joker dies. So pretty much everybody is dying at the end. Seriously, like 4 major characters die in the final act. But whatever, that's the basic plot of the game. The game is incredible, and let's talk about why. There is so much intrigue and tension, because if Batman cannot get this cure, then he will die. Obviously, we know he's not going to die, but that's besides the point. And then there are twists along the way, like the one with Clayface was incredible. Now, the one about Ra's being the main villain, we will get into in a little bit, because I don't know how I feel about that one. But anyway, the story is so good. I love Batman and Mr. Freeze working together, and don't even get me started on that boss fight. It is so good. Basically, in case you haven't played it, Mr. Freeze adapts to everything you do. So you have to hurt him in a new way each time. You can't just fight him the same way each time. It's really cool. Joker's death was handled flawlessly because you can tell Batman blames himself and is almost sad about it. In the Harley Quinn DLC, you can tell Batman is broken down because of the Joker's death. There's so many great things I can say about this game that everyone has said. This game also gave us a lot more playable characters. In Arkham Asylum, you played as Batman, and in a few challenges, you could play as the Joker, which was fun. But in this game, you can play as Batman, and then Catwoman, Nightwing, and Robin. Those characters were new additions, and some I will talk about in the negatives, because there are a few issues I have with this game. Again, nothing is perfect. But back to the positives. The Harley Quinn Revenge DLC is incredible as well. It's a very good aftermath for Arkham City. Mortal Kombat 11 should have taken notes for a good aftermath DLC. We got to play as Robin in a cinematic story mode, which was great because he was only in one scene in the main story. And you guys complain Arkham Knight didn't show a lot of Robin. The DLC is tragic, showing the reactions to the Joker's death. In a way, you do feel bad for Harley and her handling the death of her Mr. J. Again, the voice acting is incredible, and Kevin Conroy and Tara Strong give great performances in this DLC, showing the pain that they're going through. This game also added skins for all the playable characters. I'm a sucker for being able to customize how your character looks, and there are some great choices. I love almost every single skin in their own way, except for the Batman Year 1 skin, which looks kind of boring. The 71 is my favorite. I love that skin so much. This game also has some great side missions. The Riddler one was not as annoying as it is in the Arkham Knight, which says a lot, because that one is a pain to complete in Arkham Knight. Yeah, you still have to collect trophies and stuff, but it's not as bad as it is in Arkham Knight. The Deadshot one is also really good, as well as the Mad Hatter. That one was a lot of fun as well. There are a few others, including Bane and Victor Zsasz, that were also really fun. Again, I think the writing in this game was so good. Most of the villains were written flawlessly, and the standout for me is Mr. Freeze. I loved how they handled him in the Arkham franchise overall, like with Arkham Origins DLC and then the Arkham Knight DLC. A lot of DLCs, but still, great character. They did a good job showing how broken he is and trying to save his wife. Now, time to talk about the negatives. Most of this is nitpicking, but I do have a few actual issues. So I have two major ones, and then I'll go to the nitpicking. The first one is the Catwoman episodes. And here's the thing. Some of this was not necessary, and the placement was not great. The only necessary one was the one where we have to save Batman. It was cool that we got the choice to leave and not save him, but other than that, they were just kind of annoying. I would be hooked in the story, and then the game would stop to have me do some stupid Catwoman mission. And her traversal style was so annoying, I hated it. Poison Ivy was done dirty in this game by just being put in the Catwoman episodes. I think the whole thing about her getting revenge on Two-Face was cool, but I think that should have been its own DLC instead of just a short episode. I think that'd be great. I think that'd be really cool. And also it kind of ruins the tone, because as soon as we get done with the Joker's death, we immediately go straight into Catwoman wanting revenge. Which, I just think it should have been a DLC like the Harley Quinn one, because we did need some more DLCs in this game. My second big issue is the Ra's al Ghul plot twist. I actually really liked Hugo Strange in this game, but the ending just made him feel weak. He just gets killed off, and we learn who's the real villain. Overall, just kind of lame. Like, they did Hugo Strange so dirty. I was loving what they were doing with him, and then he just got killed off for some lame plot twist. Because immediately after revealing him as Ra's, they just kill him off in an embarrassing way. He accidentally stabs himself. Like, come on now. So overall, I think that kind of ruined the villain for me. I think Hugo Strange could have been handled... I think he could have handled being the main villain on his own. He was doing a great job, too. And of course, I have some other nitpicks with the game, so let's talk about them. The first one is actually, now that I'm thinking about it, not a nitpick and actually a legitimate complaint. I think Robin should have been more important. What was the point of showing him for that 40-second scene if you're not going to show him again? It was just pointless. You could have at least added him a little more, put him in some missions or some more campaign cutscenes. I mean, there were things you could have done with him. And Nightwing does not show up at all in the main story. Yeah, he's available for challenges, but it still sucks that you can't see him in the story. There are some little holes in the plot, like things like, how did the Joker know that Mr. Freeze had the cure? How did they take it? Just like how did they know Batman was working with Mr. Freeze? But again, those are just some minor issues. Every story has those nitpicks. So, overall, to round my thoughts out, I think this is an almost perfect game. The story is incredible, and the game added a lot more features like skins, side missions, more rogues gallery, and more playable characters. This is a great game that has a few issues, but overall is incredible. I think it's better than Spider-Man PS4, and that is saying a lot. I need to play Spider-Man 2 a little more before I decide which Spider-Man game is better. Miles Morales is out of the picture because that felt like an overpriced DLC. But anyways, off topic. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Let me know in the comments what you think of this game. Make sure to stay tuned for the other Arkham videos coming soon. And as always, stay geeky. Also, I want to say thank you, because that Arkham Asylum video actually did pretty well. Let's hope this one does the same. Anyway, stay geeky.